And it's all about command, not stuff. The stuff is outstanding. We know that. He's got A-plus type stuff. The first 9 starts looked like he was on his way to a 12-win, 13-win first half like David Price. 2.37 ERA, 5-2 record. The opponents were not hitting him at 2.15. And then the last 8 starts really forcing the issue and having some trouble, especially in the first inning, really trying to grind it out. Too many deep counts, too many fat pitches. Therefore, even though he's got 4 wins, the ERA is unlike Matt Garza at 7.29.
So you put all of that together, and tonight he's still after his 10th win of the year as Matt comes in with a record of 9-5. We take a look at the matchup brought to you by Verizon Wireless. Garza at 9-5 with a 4.28. He's opposed by 25-year-old left-hander Aaron Laffey, who is 1-2. Laffey overall has made 3 starts and 23 appearances in with an earned run average of 5.18. That's the pitching matchup brought to you by Verizon Wireless. Game 3 of this series right around the corner, and so is Todd Callis and his take on B.J. Upton. We'll have that coming up in just a moment.
I'm still outside Gate 4, getting ready to head inside for a little Rays and Indians baseball. Game 3 of this 4-game series. At this time tomorrow, everybody will be off for the All-Star break, at least around here. There is one Sunday night game. And then 4 players from the Rays will be heading out to Anaheim for the break. Carl Crawford, of course, Evan Longoria, they'll both be starting. David Price may be starting, and then Rafael Soriano heading out there as well. What's the biggest need for the Rays to address in the second half of this season? That's our Ottaway text poll question of the evening. TB1 for middle of the order, TB2 for leadoff hitter, TB3 for bullpen depth, TB4 for consistency. Text your vote to 789-789. Standard message and data rates do apply. Derek Shelton was a guy we caught up with during the beginning of this series, and he was talking about a number of different players, including a guy who's been in the leadoff slot in the past and again tonight, and that is B.J. Upton.
Well, I think the biggest thing is be consistent. You know, we don't want him to have a lot of extra movement. We want him to stay as simple as possible, and you know, I think the consistency of it and making sure that he stays as simple as possible is probably the biggest message that we're preaching.
With our quote of the game. And as you see, consistency has not always been the case for BJ. He started out strong, a tough May. June a little bit better. So far, early on in the month of July, things are rolling in the right direction. That's our Toyota trend as B.J. Upton will be leading off tonight against Aaron Laffey, the left-hander. We are ready for baseball. 3 minutes, 10 seconds and counting until the Rays and the Indians play Game 3 of this 4-game series. Aaron Laffey versus Matt Garza. Enjoy all the action in high definition with Dwayne Stats and Kevin Kennedy next.
Tropicana Field is brought to you by Toyota. Moving forward. By Buddy's Home Furnishings, where there's no credit needed and up to 6 months, same as cash. And by Amscott, the Money Superstore. Homestand continues tonight from Tropicana Field. Rays dropped the ball game last night to Cleveland 9-3 after taking the first game 5-2. So the Rays continue to run second in the East. We saw in the opener, Rays 3 back of New York. Boston started the day 5 back. Michael Brantley is going to lead it off again for Manny Acta's club, followed by Jason Nix and Carlos Santana. The DH is Travis Hafner, and Austin Kearns again at right, with Johnny Peralta coming off a big night at third. Matt Laporta is at first base. Shelley Duncan at left hits eighth, and the shortstop batting ninth is Jason Donald.
That lineup will face Matt Garza. Matt comes in 17 starts with a 9-5 record, 4.28 with the earned run average, 107 and a third innings pitched, 262 batting average against. And Matt looking for his 10th win of the first half, even though he's had struggles here the last 8 games overall. Behind Matt Garza defensively tonight, Gabe Kapler in left, DJ Upton in center, and Ben Zobrist in right field. Around the infield, left to right, Evan Longoria, Jason Bartlett, Sean Rodriguez, and Willie Ibart, Kelly Shopik behind the plate. And this defensive alignment is brought to you by Sweet Bay. Live fresh for less.
Tonight's Rays broadcast on Sun Sports, proudly presented in beautiful HD by H.H. Gregg. Joe Madden has the Rays 52-34 overall. They've won 3 and lost 1 to the Cleveland Indians. And following tomorrow, they'll have 1 series left with Cleveland. That will be on the road as the Rays pick up play following the All-Star break. There's Manny Acta, the Indians 34-52 under their young manager. And he sends Brantley, the center fielder, to the plate to lead it off. Brantley starts the night hitting 136. And the pitch is a strike. Brantley hit his first big league home run in the game on Thursday. He opened that game with a home run. 2 strikes to count. We mentioned the breakout of Matt Garza here in the second quarter of the season, and a couple of very difficult outings in that mix to inflate those second quarter numbers. Pitch away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And one of them was the last start he made against Boston on the 5th, when he gave up 4 runs, 7 hits in 3 innings. And 3 starts before that, his shortest of the year on the road against the Marlins. Gave up 7 runs in just an inning and a third. Ground ball. In front of it at second is Rodriguez. John Stowe to high bar at first, and time 1 away.
Well, that's a nice start for Matt. Just some nice fastballs. Didn't overthrow. I think, Dwayne, that's been part of the problem. He's really trying to hump up and overthrow, and you didn't see him fall off the mound dramatically on any of those first 4 pitches.
Yeah, and with that in mind, I thought it was interesting that Joe Madden had said that he had a little concern that maybe Garza, trying to calm himself down on the mound, had gone a little too far, a little too deliberate out there and routine oriented. And it's an interesting take on Garza's journey. Here's Jason Nix. The pitch is a strike, 0-1. We saw him in that game against Florida. And I think to another extent in the game against Boston, when he was struggling with his fastball command and really couldn't get any other pitches in play either. But the more difficult the situation became, the harder he tried to throw. as opposed to calming down.
Right, exactly.
Now Longoria makes the throw to first, and Ibar stays on the bag to get Nix. And so I can see part of what Madden was saying, but there have been times when it's been a little bit the opposite as well.
I think especially that's why when the big innings, like you said, as soon as an inning kind of unravels a little bit, that's when he goes the other way and starts throwing harder, and consequently he gets out of his mechanics. And we talk about that a lot, but he gets very forceful, and the harder you try to throw, consequently the less command he had. Same thing with a hitter. When a hitter starts pressing, I mean, he wants to cheat. If he's not catching up with the fastball, when you do that, your swing gets long.
Well, here is Carlos Santana. The Rays have the shift on for him. Bartlett on the first base side of second, and that pitch hits him. He started to swing and actually did, is the call by Tim Welke. And Santana is on his way to first. Welke had indicated that there was a swing.
Sure did.
And now they're going to confer. Jim Reynolds, the third base umpire, is going to confer with Tim Welke.
Well, the hand is part of the bat. They're giving him first base, though.
You know, that's interesting because that's an illogical call. And it's the same kind of call, and they may have gotten it right there.
I think it got his wrist.
And there was no swing.
Yeah.
But if the plate umpire says there was a swing, and I'm sure that's what Madden's talking with Tim Welke about right now. You know, you can't undo a swing. That's why.
That's right.
There's no such thing as an appeal on a swing.
That's a great point, Dwayne, because back in A-ball, you know, stories just reminded me, I actually won a protest doing that. I think it did hit him. Let's take a look on the wrist. Yeah, it did. That's a right call.
Yeah.
That's the right call.
They get the call right, but the point is, Welke had indicated
yes, he did.
that it was a swing.
Yes, he did.
And once you do that, you can't go back.
That's right, because the rule book states, and there's a line in the rule book that states another play action can't happen until the pitcher gets on the rubber and releases the next pitch after you've issued foul ball or swing. And I had a protest one year in A-ball against the Angels, and the only reason I protested is we had a runner at second base that stopped, and he went back. Same type of thing happened, and he would have been at third base because it was a swinging bunt.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, they got the call
and he
right,
said foul ball.
But from a technical sense, there is an issue here. Here's Travis Hafner now. The first pitch is down, and we'll take a look at Tim Welke, and not only look but listen.
Foul ball.
Yeah.
He said foul ball, and not only that, he motioned swing.
Yeah. This one is foul up the right side, and to me, the motioning of the swing is the problem. Now, I mean, you could call a foul ball, perhaps. You know, it could be a foul and you not swing, and actually the contact was made when he was hit on the arm by that pitch, and now you get a clarification from Jim Reynolds, the third base umpire.
Right.
Well, they got it right, but the swing is another issue.
That's right. That's exactly right. Now, if he swung the bat and it hit him, it's still a strike. Doesn't matter if it hits you or not if you had a full swing.
A little popper into shallow left. Bartlett back, and he's got it. A little snow cone catch there for Jason Bartlett to handle that pop fly off the bat of Hafner. Man left. We go to the Rays half of the inning. No score. And Joe Madden has put together a lineup to reflect that. B.J. Upton will lead off in center field, followed by Carl Crawford. The DH tonight, Evan Longoria is at third with Willie Ibar at first. Kelly Shopik behind the plate. Ben Zobrist at sixth, playing right. Batting in front of Sean Rodriguez, Gabe Kapler, and Jason Bartlett.
The lefty, Aaron Laffey, on the mound. Only his fourth start. He'd been in the bullpen prior. 23 games overall. 5.18 with the earned run average. 40 innings pitched. A lot of walks. 21 in 40 innings. That's about 4.5 per 9. But a typical lefty that the Rays have seen many of. Fastball, slider, good changeup. He'll use against those right-handed hitters.
And he'll face B.J. Upton. Upton hitting .230. And he takes the pitch high. The ball and no strikes. Upton against left-handed pitching is hitting .259, and so he's up in the leadoff spot, giving the Rays some speed there. 2-0. And Upton takes another one high. 3 balls, no strikes.
Well, right out of the chute, Laffey's not getting over that front leg. He's standing straight up. He's not finishing at all. See if he makes an adjustment here.
And Upton walks on 4 pitches. So BJ is aboard on the walk. Coming into this game, Upton had gone 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts against Laffey, so he draws a walk on 4 pitches now. And here's Carl Crawford.
And Carl gets a chance to DH tonight.
And he welcomes that occasionally, particularly on the turf. Pitch up and in. So Laffey has yet to come close to the strike zone.
All 5 pitches the same, just no adjustment yet. Everything is up and into a lefty, up and away from B.J. Upton.
And he gets a call there for a strike. 1-1.
What, you can't live up there. Carl will take you out of the ballpark. We've seen that.
Crawford puts down a bunt. Laffey makes a stab at it. The late throw to first. And the Rays have the first 2 men on. A bunt single for Crawford following the walk.
Is there anything he can't do?
I'll tell you, he's done it all this year.
He sure has. He doesn't do it often, but that's a good play. Make the pitcher come off the mound and make a play. Not expecting that at all.
It's only the second bunt hit for Crawford this year. Sean Rodriguez leads the team with 6. So Carl picks up one right there.
This is a nice combo you like on the bases, too, for Evan Longoria.
See, that's why it's so important if somehow Upton could figure out how to be a leadoff guy.
You're not kidding.
With that great speed, and you've got a combination of Upton and Crawford. This pitch to Evan is a strike. And then that would free up Zobrist to go down into the lineup where he wouldn't have to hit 3rd or 4th, but he could hit 5th or 6th and be a nice run-producing threat down there.
Yep.
Ground ball toward the middle. That's Donald, the shortstop, up with it, stepping on the bag, and the throw to first completes the double play, and Upton goes to 3rd.
Here's the defense for the Cleveland Indians. Shelley Duncan in left, Michael Brantley in center, Austin Kearns in right. Around the infield, Johnny Peralta, Jason Donald, Jason Nix, and Matt Laporta, and Carlos Santana behind the plate. And this defensive alignment review brought to you by Sweet Bay. Live fresh for less. That's unfortunate, that swing by Evan, because you don't see him do that very often.
There's Willie Ibar in the cleanup spot. Pitch is up. Ball to no strikes. He 1-2 on the year with a .518 earned run average. That's wide, 2-0. And so far this year, his numbers reflect in a number of ways the same thing as a year ago. He's pitched much better at home for the Indians than he has on the road. Last year, he had a .285 earned run average at home and .598 on the road. This year it's .675 on the road and .338 at home. So the road would be the place to jump on this guy. Which for the Rays would be at home.
And Aaron's the type of guy you just got to go the other way with. This stuff is not overpowering. There's another off-speed pitch.
3 balls and a strike.
You try to pull him, you're going to roll over to the left side. You got to think right center.
And a fly ball lifted into center. Right there is Brantley, and the Rays had a threat but do not score. And at the end of an inning, no score. Up at Kane's Furniture for a chance to meet one of your favorite Rays players. And if Rays pitchers come up with 10 strikeouts in the game tonight, log on to canestrikeout.com. Get a coupon for a free Papa John's pizza. Get to Kane's today. Matt Garza back to the hill for the Rays, facing the right fielder Austin Kearns. Next pitch is in there for a strike. And strike 2. Garza quickly has the jump on Kearns. Eighteenth start for Garza, and the one relief appearance his last time out. He picked up a save. A little tap down to third on a breaking ball, and the throw's in time. Longoria to Ibar takes care of Austin Kearns.
Nice fluid delivery for Matt so far tonight. A couple of fastballs and a good overhand curveball right there. Peralta
is hitting .251. And he continues to be tough against the Rays.
I was going to say, is there anybody that he doesn't hit 470 against? Wow.
Those numbers there against Garza. And opening fastballs in there for a strike.
Look at Matt right here. Nice and fluid. Not overpowering. Not too many moving parts. Head looking right at his target. Stays on his target the whole time. And he's pounding the strike zone so far.
Let's take a look at this pitch. That looked very good.
Yeah, bottom falls out. Look at that movement right there. 93 with movement. Yeah, he's not falling off to the left side. He's not getting rotational. Not too much side to side, at least so far. I mean, definitely something he's conscious about.
A little popper into short right field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Zobrist in to make the pickup. And Peralta pops a base hit. He didn't hit it that well, but the way he hits against the Rays, just about anything he comes into contact with, it turns out to be a hit.
Yep. This ball gets in on him. It's off the label, but finds a hole, bunker into right field.
He's around a 350 career hitter off Rays pitching combined.
He likes hitting here. I know every time we see him here, he's getting 2 and 3 hits a night, seems like.
Matt Laporta. Indians very high on this young man. A strike. Born in Fort Charlotte at the University of Florida and was part of that CC Sabathia deal. I like his pop. Did he go? Yes, he did. Scott Berry down at first. The strike.
This is what Scott Berry saw right there. Definitely he broke the wrist. Barrels out in front of the hands.
Garza's been ahead of all 3 hitters here in the inning. Chasing that pitch. A nice slider. We've seen a good curveball and now a good slider.
And a late breaking slider. That's a nice movement, nice tilt right there. So that's why I like the slider, because you get 2 types of movement, away and down. There's the break. The horizontal break is 3 inches. The vertical break is 5. And you get a strikeout out of it. Nice.
Garza. Again to the last out of the first inning. Has thrown 11 consecutive strikes and make it a dozen. It's cheaper that way. Strike 1 to Shelley Duncan. And I'll tell you, at this point, it is nice and easy for Garza.
It is.
He's got that kind of ability. He's got great talent, great stuff.
Very noticeable tonight.
Quick that is, and nice and easy too, but quick.
For people that saw him close the other night, you can visualize, I mean I can at least, how forceful he was trying. I mean really trying to blow it by guys. The ball's jumping out of his hand. He's throwing 94 with just a nice fluid smooth delivery tonight.
I mean the difference is dramatic.
And better command, of course.
Just missed right there, and really what he's done, he's gone from a man and his hair on fire approach to an under control approach that really allows his ability
absolutely
to shine and take over. Two and two. I mean, this is where he should be all the time. It's just amazing how good he could be if he were like this all the time.
Well, you hope at least 4 out of 5 starts you have this type of delivery. But you look at the guys that have great command. Cliff Lee, they have very fluid, under control deliveries. Roy Halladay.
Well, there's an emotional element to that. You've got to be smart. They're right people and talented. There's an emotional side of it that allows you to utilize the gift that you have. And those guys, you mentioned some right there. Who's better than Cliff Lee?
Well, even you look at David Price, his delivery. We talk about David's delivery a lot. The reason he has had command the other night is just very fluid. I mean, very little moving parts.
3-2, and it's popped up. A foul ball that will carry out a play. Kelly Shopik chasing it back, but no chance.
Somebody made a play.
If it's a Rays fan, and it is, couldn't that count as an out?
Why not?
He's a Rays fan.
Got a souvenir. Nice job. Fans are pumped up tonight.
Well, it's Saturday night. Why not?
Vanilla Ice must have got them all jacked up, huh? Last night.
Yeah. 3-2 and another foul ball. A big cut by Shelley Duncan on a fastball. Duncan's hitting 68 for the year, and so far he's hit much better against right-handed pitching than left-handed pitching. He's at 295, and 4 of his 5 homers have come against right-handers.
Yeah, he got a little flat slider, I believe, it was last night that he hit out of the ballpark to left center.
And another foul off another fastball. So Peralta is back at first. He dropped a single. A loop single into right. First with 2 outs, and he's been running on all of these 2-out, 3-2 pitches. He'll be off again. Ninth pitch of the at-bat on its way. And it's down and in. He stayed with the fastball, Garza did, and gives up the walk. Duncan goes to first. Peralta up to second, and Jason Donald, the shortstop, will bat.
Jason likes that first pitch fastball. Seen him jump on that several times for base hits, including last night. Holding his own, 280. Got called up when Asdrubal Cabrera broke his leg right here at the Trop last time the Indians were in town.
Pitch to Donald is a strike.
Smart pitch right there.
Doing a slider.
Yep. Ray's got the book on him.
He's been playing a lot at shortstop, and the Indians really see him as a second baseman. And he starts to go, but holds up. 1-1 to count. Take a look at that pitch to see how Foxtracks liked it.
Right at the knees. 93.
Now the 1-1 upstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike. Game 3 of the series. Wrap-up game tomorrow afternoon. 2-1 is popped down the right side into foul ground. Ibars there. And he allows that one to settle into that big first baseman. Smith. No score through an inning and a half. Tires Plus donates $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida. Well, the Rays had the makings of an inning in the first, but a double play ball really turned that one around. And in the second, Kelly Shopik, former Cleveland Indian, Shopik, who spent some time behind the plate last year catching Aaron Laffey, will face him as a hitter now. Shopik, Zobrist, and Rodriguez due up. A ball, no strikes.
Tell you what, it's hard to tell the difference between his fastball and his changeup.
Sure is.
They're almost the same speed.
Two and 0.
Flipped the curveball up there last inning at about 76 miles an hour.
It's a strike. Now that was in the low 80s. Is that a fastball?
That's a fastball, yeah. 82.
And he just picks up the corner with this one. 2-2. Third base, Peralta up with it. Throw a little bit high, but it's there in time. And Shopik is out number 1 in the second inning. Here's a message for the youngsters watching tonight. This summer, you can enjoy the magic of baseball and learn how to play the game the Rays way at Rays baseball camps. They're presented by the St. Petersburg Times. Camps are open to youngsters 6 to 13. And each camper gets tickets to 4 select Rays games and other great gifts. Just visit RaysBaseball.com to sign up. Ben Zobrist takes a pitch, and it's high.
I think that little girl had Brian Anderson's headband.
He's been looking for that. And I'll just be honest, it looks way better on her than it did on Brian. 2-0.
That was a nice demo, by the way, on the curve and the slider that Brian did in the pregame.
They're doing some good things on that pregame, especially when they're outside. I think they really love being outside, and it shows.
The hotter, the better.
Yeah, and they do some of their best work out there. Maybe they should do that more often.
I think so. Yeah, Brian had a good lather going, as he said.
Did, yeah.
But no, that was good stuff.
Todd is rehydrating now.
Todd, yeah, it was 100 degrees out there.
Hey, ball 4 is upstairs, and Zobrist draws a walk. 1 on with 1 out. Trying to get Sean Rodriguez up there. Well, Longoria and Rodriguez, the 2 guys in the order tonight, even though Joe Madden has attempted to build a lineup specifically to face a left-hander. Is Longoria and Rodriguez the 2 guys who really responded this year against lefties?
Now there's Sean. Nice splits right there. 321. Ironically, all of his home runs are against righties.
He takes the first pitch for a strike. Rodriguez getting his first look at Laffey. He has no at-bats against him. So he takes a look at that first pitch. And this puts him down in the count.
I think Sean's going, is that all there is? I'm not knocking Aaron Laffey, because guys like this are tough to hit sometimes if you don't go the other way.
Laffey shooting for the edge. Miss for the fastball.
Hey, there's 86.
Yep. 1-2. Indians drafted Laffey in the 2003 draft. And a high pop fly fly that's going to carry the Kearns in right. So Zobrist back to first. 2 outs.
He's flipping up that curveball with 2 strikes. He got Shopik on a curveball to roll to third base. And that last pitch was a curve.
Now here's Gabe Kapler. Gabe at 220. The homer and 10 runs batted in. All of his run production against lefties, and he's, for the most part, seen only left-handers with a handful of exceptions. That's a strike.
Excellent percentage right there, 89%. Only caught twice.
And the pitch is down. That's one thing opponents didn't do a lot of against Laffey a year ago, is run. They attempted only 5 stolen bases with him on the mound, and they were caught 4 times.
He's a guy you just go first move on.
It's a one hopper to short, flagged down by Donald, and the throw to first is in time. The Rays will leave a man in the second through 2. No score.
With 1 hit as we welcome you back to Tropicana Field. Matt Garza on the mound tonight for the Rays, pitching for the 3rd time this week. And with that in mind, Joe Maddon set up his rotation for post-All-Star break. And Garza will face Michael Brantley here to lead things off in the 3rd. So Maddon was considering the best available rest for everybody involved, and in particular for Garza, because he went Monday as a starter, Wednesday out of the bullpen, and again tonight. Garza gets pushed back till the 5th game back against Baltimore. So you have Shields, Neiman, Price, the 3 starters against New York. Then you go to Baltimore, it'll be Wade Davis after that, and then Matt Garza will slot for the 2nd game against the Orioles. And even tonight, Maddon said he's going to try and watch Garza and keep him right around to 100 pitches. So Garza gets the most rest, but everybody will have right around 6 days of rest, with the exception of David Price, who should pitch on Tuesday in the All-Star game, guys.
All right, well, there you have it. You'll see how the Rays come out with their rotation right after the All-Star break. Here, Garza is 1-1 with the top of the order, Michael Brantley, who fouls the fastball back. And it's 1-2 now. some slice on it, but Upton is there, not too deep. One away. Jason Nix is on his way to the plate. For a limited time, take advantage of the Autoway buy 3 get 1 free tire special at all Autoway dealerships. Go to AutowayServiceCenters.com for locations and to schedule your appointment.
A nice curveball by Matt. Just got Brantley out on.
Jason Nix. It's down 1-0. Nix grounded to third his first time.
We've seen his power. He can turn on a fastball.
Seven home runs, 6 since being claimed on waivers by the Indians from the White Sox. Foul headed up the right side, out of play. 2 balls and a strike. Nix hit a home run down the left field line here last night. Foul back and out of play. 2-2.
Nice under control fastball right there. Hit the outside corner. Nice pitch.
It's been impressive by Garza here in the early part of this game.
Yeah, he's just effortless tonight, it looks like. The word really is he's under control.
Ground ball headed to the shortstop, scooped by Bartlett. That'll take care of Nix. Out 6-3. Bartlett to Ibar. Well, this is the 18th start for Garza. He made 32 last year for the Rays and actually led the staff in quality starts with 19. Still just 26 years old. You sometimes forget that.
That's true. There's no doubt. There's always a lot of hype around Matt to start the season because he does have well above average stuff. So you're expecting a 18-win season.
1 strike to count to Carlos Santana.
And you know what? You may get that this year. He's got 9 wins.
If he could get a win tonight, he'd be in double figures at the All-Star break. A 1-1 count. When you hear the term, act as if you've been there before. That's the way he's pitching tonight.
Absolutely. Really under control. Big difference from his last 8 starts.
Foul straight back, a big cut. It's 1-2. And now Longoria, who was hanging fairly close to the bag at third, releases and heads over to the shortstop spot, shading the middle with the shift on for Santana. The Indians certainly appear to have a very valuable young man behind the plate and at the plate in Carlos Santana.
Yeah,
he looks very good.
He's the real deal. He's a hitter, no doubt about it. I like he's doing a nice job behind the plate too.
It's our first time to see him. He has been impressive in this series. Fouls a fastball back, holding the count at 2-2.
Well, it tells you what the Indians think of him. They put him right in the 3 spot.
Yeah, and what the opposition thinks of him, they're already devising a shift.
That's
for him.
right. And Sandy Alomar Jr. is the right guy to help him. First base coach, but also, of course, there's Sandy.
Yeah, good guy.
Staying on him defensively. I've heard him talk about him a couple of times.
This one in on him, and he pops it up into right center field. Zobrist coming in and makes the catch. Rodriguez was out there, but Ben grabbed it. Bottom of the third coming. No score. You can experience a Rays game from the all-inclusive Whitney Bank Club. Offers extraordinary seating and luxurious lounge and dining areas. It's the Whitney Bank Club, featuring upscale full menu buffets and inclusive drink options. To put together your night at the Whitney Bank Club, call 888-FAN-RAYS or go to RaysBaseball.com. Rays facing the young left-hander, Aaron Laffey. He doesn't throw all that hard, but the Rays have just a bunt single and a couple walks off him in the first 2 innings. Threw a double play ball that helped to get him out of a spot in the first. And here in the third, Jason Bartlett leads off, then B.J. Upton and Carl Crawford. Pitch is a strike. Bartlett hitting .224 for the year. Lifts it towards center. Brantley back to his right a little bit and makes the catch on that one. 1 away.
Those are change-ups to start Bartlett out here in the third inning. I think he's thrown about 70-80% change-ups.
Well, here's B.J. Upton, who walked on 4 pitches in the first. Pitch away. Starts him with a fastball.
It is an interesting differential because his fastball there was 86, changeup's about 81. Normally you like at least 10 miles an hour difference between your fastball and your change.
Yeah, I'm just not sure you can be all that successful with such a small differential in the two. It's over the long haul. 2-0 the count. And Upton looks at a strike, 2-1.
Well, second time around the lineup, and the Rays have seen everything that Laffey's got. So it's just about using the field going to right center if you're a right-handed hitter.
Off the plate wide. 3-1.
Gotta believe he'll throw a changeup here in this count.
Pitch in for a strike. Well, a guy like Laffey almost lives for a 3-1 count.
Yep.
To throw the changeup.
That's right.
BJ stays alive, fouling that one right back, and that's another one. Upton trying to work his way aboard here against this lefty. And a chopper headed toward the middle, backhanded by Nix, throw to first, not in time. Upton has an infield hit. So he chopped it up the middle, and that was a difficult play for Nix to make, particularly with Upton's speed.
Yeah, going to his right just to get to the ball was good enough, but really had no chance to get BJ because he couldn't get anything on it. But a nice play nonetheless. As soon as it got over Laffey's head, BJ with those long strides just runs right through the bag.
Now it's Carl Crawford who bunted his way on in the first inning. He'll move over to first. Upton fourth in the league in steals with 25. Laffey again over there. That's a strike. Don't strike the count. Upton on for the second time. A walk and a single now. Crawford chases a breaking ball.
There is a vertical break, 11 inches. Big break right there. Pretty much straight down.
One ball, two strikes. Laffey out of Maryland, went to a small high school in Maryland, and actually, even though he was left-handed, he played shortstop for his high school team when he didn't pitch.
He must have been really quick turning a double play.
Yeah. That play in the hole between third and short's got a little different look to it.
Yeah, he has to do a full 360 the other way, right? He's back to the infield.
Down and away and blocked by Santana. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the third, no runs yet. Cleveland, no runs, 1 hit. The Rays, no runs, 2 hits.
And blocking balls was something that Sandy Alomar did better than anybody when he played. He could really cover up and smother a ball in the dirt.
Now a full count to Crawford.
I'm sure Sandy's prides himself working with Santana, helping him with that. Well, if you're on the move here, this is a situation where you just got to make sure he goes to the plate.
Runner goes. The pitch into center field. Brantley's going to make the catch, and Upton heads back to first, but there's catcher's interference.
Yep.
Catcher's interference. Crawford, in swinging, made contact with Santana's mitt.
Well, let's see if Santana, because Upton was on the move, if he kind of jumped at the ball. Yeah, he was getting ready. So he was getting ready, reaching out for it because Upton was on the move. And absolutely, Carl Crawford tips the glove of Carlos Santana, but part of that was because Upton was running, so Santana was trying to get a little jump there on the ball.
So that's an error charge to Santana. The Rays have 2 men on with Evan Longoria at the plate. And the pitch inside, the runner's bluffed. And I think Crawford thought Upton was going to go, because Carl, just in a step, was almost in full motion.
I think you're exactly right. I was watching Carl, and he was in full stride quickly.
2-0. I mean, for him to stop was a major event over there at first.
Well, and the guys are on their own, so Carl just has to make sure. That's exactly what he's doing. He's taking a peek at BJ just in case he goes. He's got to get a similar jump, because a lot of times you'll try to throw out the trail runner.
And a ground ball to short again. Donald to Nix. Over to first. They get the double play. This time it's 6-4-3. And the Rays threaten but do not score. Go to the 4th inning. Just a reminder to look for the Miller Lite Taste Greatness moment coming up later in the game tonight. Well, we go to the 4th inning with Matt Garza hooked up against Aaron Laffey. And take a look at this breakout of all of his pitches, Kev.
Yeah, fastballs. 40 of 47 pitches for fastballs, and very much under control. And I think you watched David Price the other night throw about 100 fastballs of his 111 or 112 pitches. And the reason
Andy Marte pinch hitting for Hafner to start the 4th inning. It's a high pop fly, shallow center. That's a first pitch fastball, so another fastball.
Yeah, you take that. I was going to say that, David Price had such good command. I think, you watch that and you go, boy, if you have fastball command, how many times have we heard those words from Jim Hickey? You have fastball command and everything else will fall into place, and sometimes you don't need your secondary stuff. And that's what's happening so far in this game with Matt Garza, but he's also dropped a few nice curveballs in there.
Marte pinch hit for Hafner. He had some tightness in his upper back and left. And now here's Kearns swinging and missing. Strike 1. Well, it all begins with the fastball command. And that's why that, more than anything, is so important in developing pitchers. Commanding the fastball. Foul ball back, and I like for an example, the Minnesota Twins philosophy is they want command over velocity.
Absolutely.
Throw strikes and command first.
That's right.
And then we'll discuss velocity and all the other things that you want to add on. But throwing strikes and having command of those strikes, that's the first thing.
Well, hitters don't mind velocity. That's a good pitch right there. That's a nice slider. Didn't get the call, but that looked good.
We've seen a couple of these.
Yep, that's a good pitch. Look at that.
Oh my!
Crossed right at the knees.
That's a perfect pitch, is what that is.
8-inch drop there, 3 inches side to side. Nice. Good tilt.
This one lined back into right field. Zobrist is there, and he makes the catch. You know, just an aside here on that third pitch that was called the ball. Obviously, it was a strike, as we saw on Fox Strike. But if that's a strike, 2 outs in the inning, and there's a message that, you know, an umpire is going to call those pitches strikes, hitters then become more aggressive.
That's right.
And the pace of the game quickens.
That's right.
And it's just that simple. And all the things they've talked about speeding up the game, whether it needs it or not, that's a whole other conversation. But you call that pitch a strike consistently, and you're headed in the right direction, I think. Here's Peralta now, and the pitch is inside. One ball,
and
strike.
I don't know if Tim got fooled on that. Matt's thrown a couple of curveballs and a couple of sliders, but, you know, even though Matt's thrown, coming into this inning, 40 of 47 for fastballs, that shouldn't fool you. Veteran umpire.
And I really think that umpires, it'd be a good idea. You know, you hear directives and hear all kinds of things, and umpires in a difficult position. I mean, they're trying to do a good job, and bless their hearts, they do a great job. But if they're going to have a directive, how about just go out looking for strikes, make sure they're strikes, and give the benefit of the doubt to the strike call.
That's right. Look at that break. That's why I like the curveball too. Right over the top, 14-inch break down.
And a line drive. LaGloria makes the catch to retire the side. 1-2-3. Bottom of the fourth coming. No score. To be on a Saturday night than right here. Time, by the way, for our AT&T Mobility Trivia. Who hit the first inside the park home run in Rays history? That's our trivia question. So think about that for a little bit. Here's a clue. We both think that he would be a very good manager someday.
Absolutely. Great guy. His time is coming.
Willie Ibar will lead off the bottom of the fourth. Ibar, Shopik, and Zobrist. Pitch is high. Willie hit a fly ball into center field his first time. 1-0.
Their changeup coming.
2 balls, no strikes. Garza against Aaron Laffey. Two and one. We would like to give a shout out tonight to a special Rays fan. Mark Tucci is watching the telecast and celebrating his 90th birthday here in St. Petersburg. Ibar hits a ground ball to short. Donald throws him out. That's one away here in the 4th inning. So we send our very best. Mark, a big Rays fan, and today 90 years young. We hope you've had a great day, and we're hoping the Rays can give you a victory on your birthday.
That's 5 ground balls to the left side from the right-handed hitters so far. This is a guy you've got to go the other way. You got to let the ball get deep and go to right field.
Shopik takes a pitch a little high. 1 ball, no strikes. And a little chop. Another one headed to the shortstop, Donald. He's got a lot of time. 2 up and 2 down in our trivia question. We've given us all enough time to think about that one. We can't wait to get to the answer. Our AT&T trivia question: who hit the first inside the park home run in Rays history? And that would be a guy in the Rays dugout right now. Davey Martinez, July 10th on this date in 1998 off Hideki Irabu. How about that?
That short swing right there.
I think that was Chad Curtis out there in center field. It skipped by him, and Davey Martinez turning on the speed. And just for good measure, the head first slide at the plate.
How about that setup? Choked up on the bat. Nice.
I'd like to see more hitters do that.
Absolutely. Short swing. He's a good player.
2 balls and a strike. You know, he's a guy who, when he first came up with the Chicago Cubs, he didn't weigh a lot. He had a very good-looking swing, but he really struggled early. And he's a great guy to have on a coaching staff. If you've got some hitters who struggle,
he gets it.
You know, and he had a great career. He was a good hitter, but to start, and he knows all about how it's difficult to be a young hitter trying to establish yourself, knowing that you can hit, knowing that you've got a good approach, but hits just weren't falling in.
Well, I know that obviously Derek Shelton has, with all the hitters, done a good job with the effort and the approach, and really helped Sean Rodriguez. But Davey has too. I know Davey gets in Sean's ear a lot, and Sean's been a dramatic difference from the beginning of the year to what's going on now.
Zobrist draws a walk again. I didn't know the numbers exactly, but I just looked it up. In 1985, Davey Martinez in the minor leagues hit .342.
Yep.
And then the next year, he went from A ball to AAA and hit .289 there, and then came to the big leagues, and in 53 games he hit .139.
About that.
But the second year in the big leagues, full season, he hit .292. So that gives you an idea. I mean, you've got to have that stick-to-itiveness and still believe in yourself. And, you know, if you're struggling the way Dave did when he first came to the big leagues, and to come back in his first full year and hit .292, you got to give a young hitter a lot of credit for that. Sean Rodriguez fouling a pitch back, and the count is 1-1.
Well, from a personal standpoint, our paths would have crossed in Montreal when I joined the Expos, but the Cincinnati Reds needed a center fielder because Eric Davis went to the Dodgers. And as a matter of fact, for Tim Belcher, who's the pitching coach for the Indians, and John Wetland.
There's a shot down the left field side, headed for the corner. That's going to one-hop the low fence for a ground rule double. So over to third goes Zobrist, and it's Sean Rodriguez who picks up an extra base hit, his 15th double of the year.
And if you want to know a couple of things that Derek Shelton worked with Sean on, and Davey too, it's the positioning of his hands and his setup. Look at how his hands are back, and now they just explode through the zone. Look at that. Nice balance right there for Sean Rodriguez. Early in the season, he had his hands in close, and a lot of times he would take the first pitch fastball right down the middle and get in the hole, and then he would chase the slider. But he's adjusted that now. Hands are in a better hitting position already, which I think for him makes him quicker. Less movement.
Here's Gabe Kapler with 2 men in scoring position. And he takes a fastball, strike one. Kapler grounded to the shortstop his first time. So Donald has been busy out there at shortstop tonight. Kapler hits a ground ball, base hit into center field. Zobrist scores. Rodriguez will score. And the Rays break through here in the 4th inning. A 2-run single into center by Gabe Kapler.
Well, that's nice to see, too. These 2-out base hits with men in scoring position. Nice job by Gabe Kapler. Hit it in a good spot. You see Donald to the left of your screen. He can't get this one. He's gobbled up everything else.
So a 2-out walk and then the double. Now the base hit, and the Rays have a couple runs. Kapler at first with Jason Bartlett coming in to hit. Bartlett hit a fly ball into center his first time, caught by Brantley. A ball, no strikes. There goes the runner. The pitch chopped down the right side. Laporta will race Bartlett to the bag and beat a man, retiring the side. Rays score twice, leave a man through 4, 2-0 Tampa Bay. Grill somewhere, or manning the grill somewhere. Anyway, with all those other guys, this is Dwayne Stats, and it's great to have you looking in tonight. 2-0, the Rays have grabbed the lead. Matt Laporta, the number 7 hitter, leads off. Goes after the first pitch and skies it down the right side. Zobrist on the run, but cannot get there. Ball out of his reach in front of the Rays bullpen.
We're going to make sure Brian turns the ribs over now.
Yeah, that's right. But we'll see Brian again tomorrow on the Rays pregame show. It's the wrap-up game of the series and the final game of this homestand leading into the All-Star break.
Todd and Brian, they've been moving around. Where are they tomorrow, Dwayne? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess,
back to center field? Riff says, okay.
Once again, they'll be centered once again. It's a foul ball out of play. I mean, they've been moving around so much, it's as if they're trying to keep a step ahead of somebody.
Yeah. That's never a bad thought.
Yeah. Well, a safer way to live.
That's right.
But they'll be back in center field. Out there by the Captain Morgan deck. They have to go back there. It's their home base. Into the dirt, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes on Laporta. Yeah, in fact, after the game tomorrow, the Rays won't be home until the last week of the month.
Yeah.
How about that for taking care of July?
It's a long break away from the Trop.
We have the All-Star break, and then the Rays go to New York, Baltimore, and Cleveland on the next road trip. And not home until the 26th of the month. The Tigers come in. I'll tell you, that's going to be a very good homestand, an important homestand for the Rays, with the Tigers, then the Yankees, and then the Twins. So I hope you're making plans to be a part of that homestand and give the Rays some support, because there are 3 tough clubs. That's a foul ball sharply hit by Laporta. That starts the 26th with Detroit in for 4. And the Yankees are in for 3, and the Twins are in for 4. So the Rays could use your help to cheer them on in that homestand.
That's a tough homestand. The Tigers aren't going away. They're hanging right in there. 3-team race in the Central with the Twins and the White Sox. Put the White Sox back in it.
Founds it at the start of the day. The Tigers were up by a half game in the Central. And the Twins running third. They're always tough.
Nice ballpark. Now, you like that ballpark?
I love that ballpark. Yeah, that's a beautiful ballpark. I'll tell you, they've done a great job. Time called, and Shopik's going to head to the mound. I think I've always loved the Seattle park. I love the park in Houston and the park in Minnesota. And boy, they've somehow, and I know there's been a lot of conversation about a ballpark here, but if they could take elements from those 3 parks and put one here, it would be an unbelievable occurrence.
Oh, they're difference makers, those places. They are.
2-2, one hop to short. Bartlett's right there. And over to Ibar, so Laporta is out of there. Well, the Rays would have a unique home if they could put all of those 3 elements of those parks together. It would be unique. Of course, we have a unique member of our crew. Nobody like Todd Callis. Todd, there you are.
Well, you're talking about putting things together, Dwayne, earlier in the game with Matt Garza, the physical aspect and the mental aspect of his game. And here in this section, we have 50 psychologists, right? They're all state convention. Dr. Samick, he is the president-elect of the Florida Psychological Association. And to my left, I have Dr. Shinisky. He's actually in sports psychology. And it seems like you've worked with a lot of premier athletes. It seems like it's becoming more and more in vogue.
Yeah, it's the combination. It's not just the physical skills. It's being mentally tough. And that's what this is all about, bringing the skills that we possess, not only to having a pitching coach that they work with, but also a strength coach, and getting sports psychologists to be able to make them mentally tough, to handle the pressure.
Guys, we're doing a lot of analyzing up here, and we're going to be here, 50 different psychologists, and just to show you, you've already analyzed that? They said Tampa Bay is going to win, and just it's equal opportunity. There is a bachelorette party down below me here, but we're talking about the mental aspect of the game tonight, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, I knew that if you were in, in the middle of a psychologist convention, there had to be a bachelorette party someplace close to where Todd was. You know, here's the thing, and they might want to analyze Todd's approach. There you are, and look at that. He'll be down there soon. You know, he was in the middle of the Miss Florida contestants the other night.
Always.
And now he's using the psychologist convention to work his way into the bachelorette party a little later on.
He had the ulterior motive.
Yeah.
We know that. We know the truth of it.
There's a fly ball back into right. Zobrist will have to go to the track, and he leaps and makes the catch. Nice job tracking that one. Zobrist ran a nice route, got there and made a nice little leaping grab. 2 gone.
That was a great play. That was not an easy play. He tracked it, and he found the wall, too. That was key. He knew exactly where he was. Here's your Home Depot doing more on defense. Timed his leap perfectly. Found the wall right before it. Saved a double right there for sure.
It's the Home Depot doing more on defense play of the night. 2 outs. McDonald fouls this one, and it gets Tim Welke.
Ouch.
Wow. Boy. Welke just checking over that mask, and Shopik is checking over Wilkie. Wow, that's they want to make sure he's okay. Listen to this.
Oh. I feel your pain. Been there.
Well, he's smiling. That's a good sign.
Yeah. You know, people ask what that feels like. It feels like you got hit with a sledgehammer. When those foul balls come right back into your mask like that. Because if the fastball comes in about 94, it goes back about 115 miles an hour.
And Paul Harker out there from the Rays training staff to look him over and make sure he's okay. So apparently he is.
The catchers always sympathize because they go through the same thing. Not a bad thing to get close to the umpire there.
Yep, that's right.
Especially when your pitcher's throwing the ball well, maybe get a few more pitches for him. You know, never know.
2 strikes.
That had some sink to it.
Now, Garza's pitch count has been excellent tonight. We talked earlier about limiting him to around 100 pitches. Upstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's at 70 right now, 2 outs into the 5th inning.
And I've got 50 strikes. 70 pitches and 50 strikes. That is pounding the zone.
This one is down. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's one of the few times you saw him fall pretty dramatically to the left. Only seen him do it about 3 times all night. Other than that, his alignment's been really good for home plate, especially with his head staying on his target.
And a ground ball foul. And out of all of that, he's leaned heavily on the fastball. There's another one, 59 fastballs of 72 pitches now.
Yep. Well, the way he's throwing, if he can get this out, he can get at least into the 7th. Looking that far ahead with the pitch count anyway, if they're going to stop him around 100.
2-2. Upstairs, missed with a fastball. Full count. Two outs, base is empty.
First things first, though.
Yeah. Let's get through the 5th.
No walks. Yeah.
Donald hanging tough. Founds another one out of play. So we'll see another full count pitch from Garza. That hit Santana in the first. He walked Duncan in the second. Gave up that blue base hit to Peralta in the second. And now he Rays 3-2 to Donald. Donald steps out, getting time. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. And a shot right back at Garza, who makes the catch. That might have been the hardest hit ball off Garza tonight, a fastball, and he was right there to grab it.
And because he finished the right way, he was able to make that play.
1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 2-0 Rays. Donald into the top of the 5th inning. Let's take another look at that, Kevin.
Yeah, well, and the key is, look at Matt Garza, how he finished. He's facing the hitter right here. That's why he's able to make that play. Last week, that ball would have hit him in the back, the way he was really opening up and falling dramatically hard to the left side. But look, his head's right there, so he can track it right into the glove. That's a great play. But that's the other advantage of finishing toward your target and not getting rotational. You can field your position, and more than that, maybe save your body.
Yeah, absolutely. So we go to the home half of the 5th, and it's Upton to lead it off again. Jay's been on twice. He has walked and reached on the infield hit in the 3rd. 1-0 the count. He looks at a strike now, 1-1. Crawford next, and then Longoria. A tap to 3rd. Big hop for Peralta. The throw to first in time to get Upton over there. 1 away. And it's time to look forward to the upcoming schedule, brought to you by Just for Man Hair Color. Rays and the Indians again tomorrow, and then after the All-Star game, it'll be on to New York, Baltimore, and Cleveland tomorrow. Jeff Neiman will make the start for the Rays, and Justin Masterson will do the pitching for Cleveland. We'll be with you again on Sun Sports in high definition. Carl Crawford takes the pitch away. As we look forward to the upcoming schedule, you can live forward with Just for Man Hair Color. Two balls, no strikes.
Laffey still hasn't thrown much above 50% for strikes. Wayne, he's still all over the place. But
37 strikes and 36 non-strikes.
That's it.
The strike, it's 2-1. And Carmona last night, he got the win, and the Indians scored a lot of runs, and they beat the Rays 9-3. But he was in a similar situation. He didn't throw. His ratio was not all that good. He wound up with 116 pitches and 64 for strikes. But for most of the night, he was, for every non-strike, he threw a strike.
Yeah, his stuff is nasty, too. Throwing that hard sinker. He's got so much movement. Got his 8th win last night.
Crawford is out on strikes. That's the first strikeout for Laffey. I think he tried to throw a slider and it might have just backed up.
Yeah.
Struck him out.
Kind of hung up there. Yeah, it didn't do a whole lot. Carl got underneath it.
2 up, 2 down, and here's Longoria. 11 up with the bases empty now. He's grounded into a couple double plays tonight. And he takes a soft strike. There's a shot down the left field side, back toward the corner, and it's going to be off that low wall. Longoria digs for second and is in there, sliding head first. That hit just below the yellow line on the low wall and came right back to Duncan. A double for Longoria.
Yeah, I thought it had a chance to get over that wall for sure, but Evan was hustling right out of the box. That's why he gets into second base. I think he got a little bit off the end, but he's pretty much hustling out of the box. That's why he got the double. Karem's right back to Shelley Duncan, and there's Evan. The head first slide. Checkers doubled the game.
His 27th double of the year. Now Ibar takes a strike. The Rays scored 2 runs with 2 outs in the 4th, and now in the 5th they have a 2-out threat. One ball, 1 strike. Two runs, 5 hits for the Rays tonight. Two and one. That's going to go through into left for a base hit. Longoria is on his way to the plate. Duncan's throw's not in time, and down to second goes Ibar. He has singled home a run to make it 3-0 and moves to second on the throw coming through to the plate. Ibar drives home Longoria. 3-0 Tampa Bay.
Take a look at the base hit right here. Now, the base runner, the rule is, now Foley's sending him all the way, but Evan, see, he touches third base, and Shelley Duncan hasn't gotten the ball yet. That's the rule, as a general rule for a third base coach. If your runner gets to the bag before the fielder touches the ball, send him. But either way, with 2 outs, Tom was going to send him all the way. But that's kind of a general rule for third base coaches out there.
Shopik takes a pitch high. 1-0, and so the Rays get their 3rd run of the night. 3 runs for the Rays now on 6 hits, and all 3 runs have come with 2 outs. There's a line drive, but it's caught by Donald. Boy, Shopik hit that one right on the button. But Donald, the shortstop, caught it. Rays with a run, and after 5, it's 3-0 Tampa Bay. Minutes can save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by AT&T. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Rays about hit Cleveland 6-1, and they lead 3-0 as we go to the 6th inning. Matt Garza just 75 pitches through 5 innings.
Very efficient. Only 1 strikeout, and I think that's good news because he's not. Number 1, you have to throw more pitches to strike a guy out. And number 2, when he gets in that strikeout mode, sometimes he overthrows. So he's very much under control. Giving up 1 hit into the 6th.
And Brantley shortens on the bat and takes the pitch for a ball. Garza has retired 10 in a row as he starts the 6th. And Grant Balfour is up in the bullpen now for Tampa Bay. There's a strike. 1-1. Next to follow, and then Santana. Piece of that one, fouling it. 1-2. Carlos Pena, by the way, is in the game at first base defensively.
That's a good move with a 3-run lead. Willie got his hit, did his job, drove in a run. Play that great defense now.
Brantley fouls it back to continue the at bat. So the count still a ball, 2 strikes. And a long shot down the right field side. That's a foul ball. So Brantley, who got his first big league home run here Thursday night, made a bid for another one, pulled it just foul.
Yeah, he had a 1-1 fastball in, got his hands inside it off of Wade Davis for that home run. Had a very similar swing right there.
Fouls it the other way this time, a fastball. Matt Garza here against the Indians tonight, giving up a walk. He's hit a man and has allowed a bloop single to Peralta. And a wave and a miss. Chopik will toss the ball down to Pena. Brantley is the second strikeout of the night for Garza. It has not been smooth sailing for Garza throughout his career against the Indians. He was 1-4 with a .559 throughout his career against the Indians coming into this one.
Nice job by Kelly Chopik on a nice slider right here. It's a strikeout slider, 1-2. 9-inch break right there, the vertical break. And Kelly Chopik makes the play, buries it.
Jason Nix. Breaking ball is in there to start him. In fact, the one win Garza has over Cleveland came in 07 when he hooked up against CC Sabathia. That's the year Sabathia was the Cy Young Award winner for the Indians. And the fly ball, center field. Upton is right there, not too deep. So that's the second out, 2 gone. And Garza beat Sabathia and struck out 11 in that game. Hey, for the news that touches your life, turn to the St. Petersburg Times, winner of 2 2009 Pulitzer Prizes for excellence in journalism. Subscribe to the Times, the official newspaper of the Rays, by calling 877-THE TIMES or visiting TampaBay.com.
Well, that 07 year, that was the Indians one game away from going to the World Series.
And the strike to Santana.
That 1-2 punch of CC and Carmona that year.
Cut the foul ball. 0-2.
I believe that was a changeup. Right. Nice pitch. Mixing it up a little bit there. He threw a couple earlier in the game. Yeah, that's a changeup. Love to see him do more of that. Look at that. Nice and easy. About a 9-mile-an-hour differential between that and fastball.
Two outs, bases empty. A 2-strike count on Santana.
They called a slider, Matt. I was going to go through the signs again. Didn't want that.
It's away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Like he tried to make that ball sink and run away. It ran away, right?
This one chopped fair, back to first for Pena. He's got it to retire the side. 1-2-3. So we go to the bottom of the 6th, and the Rays lead 3-0.
For the 6th inning, time now for our Autoway text poll question of the night, brought to you by Autoway. If you need a car, truck, or van, who are you going to call? Call Autoway, 1-800-SHOP-AUTOWAY. And we ask you what the biggest need is for the Rays to address in the second half of the season. Text one of those 4 choices. TB1 for the middle of the order, TB2 for the leadoff hitter, TB3 for bullpen depth, TB4 more consistency. You can text your votes to 789-789, standard message, and data rates apply, and we will have the results for you in our Rays Live postgame show. Guys?
And the Rays hold a 3-0 lead with Ben Zobrist stepping in against the left-hander Aaron Laffey. He stays away from Zobrist, way away, 1-0. Ben has walked twice tonight and has scored a run. Bounces this one to third. Peralta even with the bag, makes the throw. And Ben is the first out in the 6th. Now Sean Rodriguez is on his way to the plate.
That's 10 outs on ground balls hit to the left side, including the 2 double plays by Evan Longoria from right-handed hitters. So he definitely has the Rays hitters out in front with that off-speed stuff.
And a strike call to Rodriguez. And that fastball is 83, 84, at times 86. And Sean hit by the pitch. So he heads to first. He's over there with 1 out. We'll see what the Rays can do about this.
Yeah, and I guess the good news is they've had two out rallies for their 3 runs. So that's the good news, even though Laffey's been getting those ground balls to the left side.
Kapler got the base hit up the middle into center field with 2 outs in the 4th. That drove in 2 runs. Up here with Rodriguez at first. And there's a strike. Okay, with a couple runs batted in, 12 on the year. It's a breaking ball. Strike 2.
Well, a couple of the lineup moves have worked out for Joe Madden again today. Gabe Kapler, a 2-run single, and Willie Ibar, an RBI single.
It's foul and looped back into the stands. Here's Ibar. Started the game at first, replaced in the top of the 6th by Pena, but not before Willie delivered an RBI single in the 5th inning.
Soriano was probably saying, well, you can't play 9. He's having fun with him. Ibar.
A ball, 2 strikes. Two and 2. And a high pop foul coming straight back, and that's going to be just below us. Count holds at 2-2. Big Frank Herman.
There he is.
Sitting in the bullpen.
There's your man.
Yep, that's him. Saw him last night.
Might be a little throw over to first base here from Manny Acta to his catcher.
And a foul ball. And in front of Tom Foley toward the bullpen. Count is still 2-2. You know, Grant Balfour is hanging around the bullpen for the Rays up the right field side. Garza had 88 pitches, and Balfour was up in the 6th and then sat down, but he's down there standing on the mound right now. Rays have a man at first and 1 out. Kapler fouls it again, extending this at bat.
I think if Joe Madden, if they get a bigger lead, 5 or 6 runs, that maybe he would take Garza out. But I think as it stands, if he's going to limit him to 100, he's got 12 pitches to work with. And the way Garza's throwing, why not try to get a couple more outs out of Matt Garza in the 7th?
And a little looper down to 3rd. It's caught by Peralta as Kapler broke his bat. That'll be the 2nd out. Follow the Rays on your iPhone, your iPod Touch, BlackBerry, and Android phone with MLB.com at Bat 2010. Featuring play-by-play video highlights and live audio broadcasts. Visit RaysBaseball.com now on your iPhone, iPod Touch, Android, or BlackBerry for more details. Jason Bartlett. Draws a toss. Rodriguez back in. John hit by a pitch. He's over there with 2 outs now at first base. Pitch away from Bartlett, and he takes it for a ball. And snap throw down to first, and back in is Rodriguez on the pitch to Bartlett. That was ball 2.
Well, Santana from his knees. I think we know who taught him that. Sandy.
Upstairs, now 3-0. So this next pitch from Laffey will be number 100 on the night for the Cleveland lefty. Takes that for a strike.
Sandy, you just saw a shot at Sandy Alomar. He has that stopwatch, and I'm guessing that stopwatch in his right hand. First base coaches do that for the pitchers when they're out there on offense, but I think for the catcher too, he wants to see how quick the release is.
There's a line drive base hit into center field. Rodriguez will go to third. Bartlett makes the turn, and the Rays with 2 outs have men on the corners now. First and third, 2 outs for the top of the order. B.J. Upton is due. Manny Acta comes out of the dugout for Cleveland.
Well, I like to see a lot of this in the second half from Jason. That's a nice, short, compact swing, and right back up the middle.
So a call to the bullpen for Cleveland, brought to you by Metro PCS. Like 6-packs any 6 games in July or August, and packs start at just $50. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. Frank Herman is the new pitcher, making his 16th appearance of the year for Cleveland. He's on to face B.J. Upton. Upton swings, and it's a fly ball into left field. Duncan closes, makes the catch, and that retires the side. We're through 6, and the Rays lead 3-0. The 7th inning, and our Jaguar performance and performer of the game will be Matt Garza. Leaving after 6 innings, but he pitched very well.
He was outstanding tonight. 6 solid innings. Threw about 85% fastballs. Did mix in some good curveballs with it. 88 pitches is all, and the main thing is he threw about 75% for strikes tonight. 88 pitches, 64 for strikes.
And 69 fastballs.
There it is.
Count we had.
Yep.
And Grant Balfour will take over here in the 7th inning. He faces Andy Marte. Balfour on for the 37th time. And he misses upstairs with the first pitch, 1-0.
Well, Joe Madden had the option of sending Matt back out there. He had about a 12-pitch limit. I mean, he had to get to 100. But I think for a couple of reasons, Joe wanted, number one, you get him out of there on a nice feeling about yourself.
Yeah, well, he pitched well.
Yeah, he had a great game, and if he goes out there in the 7th, he's not going to go much more than 12 pitches anyway. And if he starts giving it up, then you have a bad feel coming off the mound. So this gets him out of there. 1 hitter, 6 great innings. Boy, take the video of that and put it in your bank and watch that, because that's duplicate that from now on.
And a hard hit ball line caught by Bartlett. Marte hit it right on the button. Fortunately for the Rays, Bartlett was there to grab it. 1 away here in the 7th. Let's go to Todd.
Dwayne, an interesting development in Philadelphia tonight. It's been kind of a crazy series. The Phillies with that great comeback for a win earlier in the set. Well, tonight, Travis Wood, a lefty making just his 3rd major league start, has a perfect game through 8 innings against the Phillies. The problem is he's facing Roy Halladay, and Halladay has a 4-hit shutout working as well, 1 out into the 9th inning. So a perfect game on the line, but his team hasn't scored yet, guys. Back to you.
There you are, and the Reds hitting in the 9th.
Wow. A lot of perfect games this year. No hitters. What the heck is going on?
I know. And they haven't even widened the strike zone.
No. What's up? Ouch. That's why he's got that shin guard on.
1-2. All right, here's a quick knee-jerk reaction to that. During this hyped-up chemical stage of baseball, hitters got into a terrible... Their mechanics were so bad that all they wanted to do was hit home runs. And so on the backside of the anti-chemical era of the game, hitters' skills have not caught up yet with what's going on in the transition of baseball.
I think that's fair to say that's a possibility with some guys, because that's true.
Too. I mean, mechanics, it was like, let's line up and try to hit home runs. And there's a foul ball just above us into the upper deck.
That's where the money's at,
Yeah, that's where it was, and I think in that post-steroid era, there's more of an emphasis on playing small ball and fundamentals of the game, basic skills of the game, and the game, I think, is a better game because it's moving in that direction where all parts of the game have value.
What was
down to 3rd, and Longoria comes up with it. And it's scooped over there by Pena. 2 gone.
That's why Carlos is in the game right there. It's already paid off. Everything Joe Madden's doing is working. But, there's a lot of truth to that. That's what the Rays' theme was in spring training. Get them over, get them in.
Yep.
Type thing. Execution baseball. I think there's a lot of truth in that. When you manage a team like this, or Mike Scioscia with the Angels, I mean, you do that. You expect execution baseball, running game, small ball. You'll take some home runs, but on the other side of that, when you manage a team like in Texas when I was there, you have Canseco, who of course, and Juan Gonzalez and Dean Palmer, and it's home run derby every night. It's not even, to be honest with you, it's not fun managing games like that.
There's a lot less managing going on.
Well, it's and then guys do get in bad habits, and then when you do need a sac fly or a guy to try to go the other way, he's not doing it because he's been pulling the ball.
2-0 to count to Peralta. Ball 3 is upstairs, 3-0, and I just think during the transition, it's going to take a little while for hitters to change their approach. You can't stand up there and try to hit home runs all day now. And I think the more skills involved, you're gonna see hitters make that transition.
I think too, more pitchers, more young pitchers are learning the changeup too.
Foul right back over the screen.
A lot of these young lefties that we've seen up in the big leagues here in the last couple of years, whether it be Oakland or Brian Mattis type with the Orioles or Romero with Toronto, they all have great changeups. The equalizer.
Yep. That'll certainly take advantage of big swingers. 3-2 the count to Peralta as he steps back. 2 outs, bases empty. We're in the 7th.
Look at the effect Matt Garza threw, maybe 2 or 3, but they were very effective today. Changeup.
Yeah, Garza was very, very good tonight for the Rays from a pitching point of view. And that's what counts for him. This one is down, ball 4. Peralta walks with 2 outs.
Interesting sequence there. He decided to go with the slider.
Halliday has just finished off the 9th inning. And so the Reds did not score. And the Phillies come in to hit in the bottom of the 9th looking for their first hit. And that's a scoreless game. Laporta pops one down the right side, foul. Pena, he could not gather it in. He tried to cradle it over his shoulder. That's going to be a no play. But Carlos feels he should have made the play.
Yeah, sure he did. He did the basket catch and didn't quite track it into the glove. Pretty much the only way he could have caught it was the basket catch. But you saw his eye. He didn't quite track it in all the way.
1 strike the count. And a broken bat. That's a foul ball. Fortunately for the Rays, just outside the line. A leaping attempt down at third by Longoria. Laporta breaks his bat.
A great effort by Evan, and he almost looked like live shot. He almost got it. Let's see how close it was. Yeah, it was close. Good timing on that leap. Jim Reynolds got a couple plays down there. He's called right. Third base umpire.
Here's Matt Laporta with an 0-2 count. Go. That pitch up, and he checked in time, says Scott Berry. That was close.
Going up the ladder on him to get him to chase. Let's see from the side shot. Ooh, he just did hold. That was hold up. That was a tough call right there. I think he got that right. I think he did hold up.
1-2 now. This one down and away. A slider. The count is 2-2.
Does that game that's going on with the Phillies and Reds remind you of a little bit of the Bob Henley Koufax perfect game?
Oh yeah, how about that?
Henley gave up 1 hit and lost.
Yep.
Sandy threw the perfect game in 1965.
Lou Johnson
got the only hit. And Chris Krug was the catcher, and Lou was stealing, and he threw the ball away to left field, and Johnson scored from second as he was stealing third.
2-2 the count on Laporta. And a line drive base hit into center field. Peralta turns second and holds, and with 2 outs, the Indians put up a threat.
Yep, and this is a threat because they got a good power hitter up at the plate right now in Shelley Duncan, who already has homered in this series. And he drove one deep to right that Ben Zobrist made a great play up against the wall in right field in the 5th inning.
The Rays bullpen stirs. Shelley Duncan prepares to step in. His home run came in the 7th inning last night.
Looked like either a flat slider or cutter. Tough to tell, but one of the two. But either way, it was flat, and he jumped all over it.
Randy Choate is up in the Rays bullpen. Duncan 0 for 2 with a strikeout lifetime against Balfour. And he takes a strike out there on the corner.
That's a good pitch right there.
Carlos Ruiz has doubled to lead off the bottom of the ninth for the Phillies. And there goes Wood's no-hitter in perfect game. There's a strike, 0-2.
First pitch was a curveball for a strike. This looked like the slider for a strike.
Into the dirt, and it skips away from Shopik. A wild pitch, and the runners advance to second and third.
Grant just tried to make it better than what it needed to be. That slider, tough pitch to block right there, and Grant shows Kelly where it's at. But get runners now in scoring position. Base hit makes it a one-run game.
Two strikes. This with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Duncan is out on strikes. They got him on a fastball up to retire the side. So we go to the bottom half of the 7th with the Rays leading 3-0. Mosaic Company and the Rays working together in the fight to end hunger through home runs for food. Each Rays home run this season, the Mosaic Company donates $500 to local food banks through Feeding America Tampa Bay, Florida's leading hunger relief agency. To date, Home Runs for Food has donated $39,000 to Feeding America Tampa Bay. Carl Crawford will open the bottom of the 7th inning. The pitch from Frank Herman is outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Longoria next, and then Pena. 2-0.
That was a nice sequence, by the way, from Grant Balfour. You know, got him looking for sliders and down and away, and he went up the ladder on him. That was a big pitch. Big pitch in this game.
Yeah, he went up out of the strike zone to get the swing and a miss from Duncan. That ended the threat. Carl fouls it back.
I think more guys need to do that in the game, you know, go up and down a little bit more. You see this side-to-side thing going on with these cutters and sliders and all that. I don't think enough guys go north and south in the strike zone, up and down.
2-2 now, and it's a full count. Carl bunted his way on in the first, reached on catcher's interference in the third, and struck out swinging in the fifth. Pops one foul, out of play, a fastball right there.
Yeah, he got his pitch. That's that pitch Carl can turn on and hit out of the ballpark right there.
And he pops this one up. That's a foul ball, and will be out of play. That forces another 3-2 pitch. Carl officially hitting .321 with his 1 for 2 tonight. And one into left field, but it's going to hang up, and Duncan makes the grab. One out here in the Rays, the seventh. Evan Longoria will be the hitter. For all the latest updates on the Rays, log on to TampaBay.com. From the diamond to the clubhouse, everywhere in between, you'll get in-depth news, stories, and scores 24 hours a day only at TampaBay.com. Joaquin Benoit is throwing in the bullpen now. Evan Longoria takes a pitch around the knees, and that's a strike.
That's the other benefit of removing Garza after 6, is that the bullpen's been rested. Benoit and Soriano each had 2 days off.
That's Soriano,
which is pretty necessary for both guys. They've worked, they both had great first halves. You could make an argument for Benoit as an all-star too.
Yes, you could. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He's got incredible numbers. What a find he was this year by Andrew Friedman and staff. Healthy, big pickup, especially with J.P. Howell out. You know.
Yep. The way we ran into J.P.
How's he doing? Good man.
Yeah, he's doing great. 2-2. He's you know, he's ready to get back. He's on
probably itching
to
right?
recovery, and he says he's been watching us every night. He's turned into a TV critic.
Is he burying us?
He's great. He's you know, he's such a.
He said, "Oh, that's what you two talk about, huh?"
Yep.
And Brian as well.
Great to see him. A high shot back into right field. Kearns will go to the track, however, and make the catch, and then retires Evan Longoria. Travis Wood got out of the ninth. He did give up that double to Ruiz, and they left him on base. Carlos Ruiz was stranded at third, and so through 9 in Philly, the Reds and the Phillies are scoreless. The Phillies did not have a hit. In fact, that was a perfect game until Ruiz doubled to open the bottom of the ninth.
Dusty Baker, I'm impressed. Let him go.
It's Carlos Pena.
I guess you've earned it when you had a perfect game through 8.
Yeah.
Win it or lose it. Put the 0 up there if you can.
Pull a guy then.
Yeah.
A 1-0 count. Carlos with his first at bat tonight. Willie Ibar started at first base, and Willie drove in a run with a base hit back in the 5th inning. Now Pena hits here in the 7th. 2-0.
I'd like to see him take this outside fastball if he gets him get one to left center again. Yeah, Herman wants a fastball away.
And he gets a strike out of that, taken by Pena.
pretty good pitcher's pitch right there.
Pena hit the home run off Herman last night. And that's wide. 3 balls and a strike. And ball 4. Carlos looks it over and draws a 2-out walk. Kelly Shopik walks to the plate.
A nice and patient at bat right there.
Those are good signs. I tell you, the 2 really great things we've seen the last few days. Number 1 would be Garza's performance tonight, and number 2, the approach and the way Carlos is swinging the bat.
Absolutely. He had some really good at bats yesterday too, not just a home run. In the 9th, he had that RBI single to left center. He drew a walk in that 7th inning that could have been a big inning for the Rays.
Shopik takes a slider away, 1-0, and so Carlos is aboard with a walk here in the 7th inning tonight. 1-1 the count to Shopik. Garza worked 6 for the Rays. Laffey worked 5 2/3 for the Indians. Rays have 3 runs, 7 hits tonight. High and away, 2 balls and a strike. And a strike got the outer part of the zone. 2-2.
Kelly's mad at himself not pulling the trigger on that, although that looked like it was a little bit away.
Herman got the final out in the 6th, working the 7th. Shopik takes a big cut at a fastball. He had a pretty good pitch right there.
Yeah, he did. A good swing on it too. 2-2 fastball right down the middle.
White Sox have beaten Kansas City.
Wow, are they hot?
They've won 7 in a row and 9 of 11. And a swing and a foul tip strikeout. No runs, a walk, a man left. We're through 7. 3-0 Tampa Bay.
Head for tomorrow. Tomorrow is a family fun day presented by the St. Petersburg Times. The first 10,000 kids 14 and under received a David Price bobblehead presented by Metro PCS. And Andy Sonnenstein has been doing a great job, guys, with the art on the wall. Today he decided, as predicted by our producer Mike Griffin, to go a little Afro look to the full beard and mustache. Kind of has a little Oscar Gamble back with the New York Yankees baseball card look to it. Here's what the real bobblehead's going to look like. 10,000 kids 14 and under tomorrow, courtesy of Metro PCS. Go to raisebaseball.com to get your tickets. That's a much better looking version, I think, than what Andy's done. But give Sonny some credit for being a solid artist out there on the wall all week long, guys.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice collectible item right there. Joaquin Benoit, the new pitcher for the Rays, their third. There we are. Look at that. Resident artist there, Andy Sonnenstein.
And we hear Garza's up next, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I think Andy's probably going to add more facial hair than Matt has already, right?
There you go. So we'll see. That's just around the corner next month. 1-1 the count to Jason Donald to start the 8th. Foul back and out of play. 1-2.
Here's those numbers we were talking about. That is definitely all-star worthy. 0.70 earned run average, 38 strikeouts and only 4 walks, 110 batting average against. Wow.
And a tap foul. The count stays at 1-2. Well, the bullpen has been such a strength for the Rays all year. A great depth out there, and the emergence of Benoit has made it that much better.
Yeah, it's the #1 team in baseball in save percentage.
Another tap foul,
which is 871. And of course, and I agree with Joe Madden. I think Soriano, you got to consider him being really perfect, because you get a blown save for coming into a game in the 8th inning, 1st and 3rd, nobody out, and you get the outs. Although there was an error there as well in that inning, and yet you get credited for a blown save. That part of the rule should change. Been like ice out there.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The count squares.
Nice block right there, just in case there was a swing and a miss by Kelly Shopping.
Donald leading off. Frankly, due next. Next beyond that. And ball 3 is high. Full count now. Benoit's last outing was on Tuesday. And a fly ball into left. Kepler's there. Run away, so he comes back to get Donald on a fly ball to shallow left.
Good comeback. So he's actually had 3 days off then. Most guys don't even like to have that many days off between throwing in a game. It was a necessity. Rest Benoit and Soriano a couple of days at least. Soriano had pitched 5 out of 6. He'll be ready to go in the 9th, unless the Rays can open this lead up.
1-0 the count here to Brantley. Yeah, Soriano last worked in that same game that Benoit worked in on Tuesday. It's a strike and it's 1-1. So both those guys ready to go.
Yeah, they've had plenty. They can go today and tomorrow, leading up to the break.
Pitch down a little bit. 2-1. The Rays have a 3-run lead here. Red Sox lost today. Foul back and square the count at 2-2, and the Yankees in Seattle. Still a few minutes before that game starts out there. Vasquez and Hernandez, the pitching matchup. Javier Vasquez 7-7, and Felix Hernandez 6-5. It's Tony Sipp down in the bullpen for Cleveland. This hitter. Benoit went 3-2 to Donald, got him on a fly ball, and now he's 3-2 to Brantley.
Pitches all in the same part of the zone, a little bit off the outside corner, but basically everything away and a little bit up. It was too close to take, though. You got to swing at that.
Two is fouled again, so Brantley forces another one. Baltimore is leading Texas in the top of the 6th inning. Quick lead, trailing in that game, 3-0.
That's right. That's his game today.
Yeah, Nick Markakis and Cesar Izturis both hit home runs in that game.
It's a move that just didn't work out. You know, if they get Rich Harden going, that's a pretty good combo. And you get Tommy Hunter there in Texas pitching well. C.J. Wilson has had a good first half for them.
3-2. And fly ball into left. Kapler goes back for this one and makes the catch. 2 outs.
Very good concentration by Joaquin Benoit because he really took his time, and once it got to 3-2, you saw that look on his face. He was not happy with himself, but he didn't rush it. He just took his time and made sure he made a quality pitch 3 times in a row. Make Brantley hit his way on.
Now Jason Nix bats with the bases empty and 2 outs. Misses a slider. Nix looking for the hard stuff, but missed the slider.
Yeah, he's hit a couple of home runs against the Rays this year here at the Trop, and those have been on fastballs, middle in. Good first pitch right there, the slider.
A little tap headed to short. Bartlett makes a low throw. One hops it in. Pena scoops, and that retires the side. Bottom of the 8th coming, and the Rays lead this one 3-0. before he heads to Anaheim for baseball's biggest stars. They'll go head-to-head for one spectacular night in the summer's biggest event as Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the 2010 MLB All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday, live from Anaheim at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox.
I was wondering what my old bench coach was doing these days.
Yeah, there you are. Tony Sipp will be the new pitcher for the Cleveland Indians. We go to the bottom of the 8th with the Rays coming in to hit, leading 3-0.
Good arm, not a whole lot of command. 23 walks in his 30 innings, but he does have a plus fastball.
Ben Zobrist leading off, and the pitch is upstairs to Ben. 1-0. And with a couple walks and a run scored, 1 to count. Balls and a strike. Well, the Phillies are coming in to hit in the bottom of the 10th. The Reds did not score in the 10th, so that game is still scoreless. The Phillies have just the 1 hit. 3-1 now to Zobrist. Travis Wood had that perfect game going.
Man. No score in that ballpark, huh? I know there's 2 good pitchers going. Well, you got the kid that pitched great, but Halliday's always tough. Zeros in Philadelphia.
Three-2 the count. It's fouled back. See another 3-2 pitch to Zobrist.
I think this is why Tony Sipp didn't come in the game last night when all the lefties were coming up, because of his too many walks. Although Perez ended up walking the bases loaded, as it turned out. Rays had a chance to really get back in the game. Only got 1 run out of it.
Adam Jones has just homered off Cliff Lee.
Wow, 5-0. Orioles.
Tillman hasn't given the Rangers a hit through 5 in that game either.
And that's a club that can hit with anybody. Texas.
And ball 4. Zobrist walks for the 3rd time tonight. This one leads off the 8th. Soriano loosening in the Rays bullpen. The Rays have 6 from Garza, 1 for Balfour, and Benoit worked the 8th. There's Sean Rodriguez. There goes Zobrist. Good jump. And the throw not in time. Stolen base. Ben picks up number 17.
He just went first move, and a good take by Sean Rodriguez because he recognized a huge jump by Ben Zobrist. That's an unselfish move right there by Sean because he took a pitch he probably could have drove. But that's a great play by Sean, and obviously a great move by Ben getting the jump. There's a lot to that because as a right-handed hitter, you can see what kind of jump. A lot of guys would say, that's a good fastball, I'll jump on it, and end up fouling it back. Whereas now his job is to try to get Ben over to 3rd or drive him in by going the other way. I'd be surprised if Sean drags a bunt either.
And he takes a pitch on the outer part of the plate. 2 strikes. stairs. 1-2. As it turns out, the Rays have had base runners in every inning tonight. They have 3 runs, 7 hits so far. They've left men on base in every inning. Just fouls it back.
Good swing right there. Yeah, the only thing that saved Laffey was the 2 double play balls in the first inning and the third inning.
And the 1-2. And strike 3 is called. Rodriguez caught looking right there for the first out.
That's a tough slider right there. Let's take a look from a center field shot. Yeah, that's too close to take. It's a little bit in, according to Fox Tracks, but it's too close to take. Still, Sean that's not happy with it. He was right, but
yep. Which was a little bit off the plate end, but close. Now Gabe Kapler. Cut and miss.
These guys that are all over the place, throw like Tony said, they're tough though to hit. You can't really lock in one area on him. All of a sudden he drops a slider for it, gets a call by the umpire.
Takes one close. That's a ball. 1-1. Zobrist walk. Swipe second. Kapler fouls a fastball there. He liked that pitch.
Yeah, good swing at that too. They're holding Ben pretty close. I mean, it's a good time to try to run with 1 out. Might get a slider in this count too, but you got to make sure if you're Ben, it's 100% sure that you can get to third base. Big leg kick by Sip too, so the combination of all those things are there to steal the base, but they are trying to pinch him a little bit.
And time called with Nix breaking to the bag and then back.
Yeah, he broke a couple of times, and I think it actually bothered Sip. He didn't want to wheel and throw it in center field, probably.
So it's 1-2. The count to Kapler. And a swing and a miss on a pitch down and in. A slider with some depth to it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going to run, that was the pitch to do it on.
Number 8, Jason Bartlett.
Nice block, though, by Santana. You see that glove? That's exactly how Sandy Alomar did it. Sandy would put that glove right there, right between the legs, right, and on the ground. Beautiful block.
So Zobrist is still at second base with 2 gone, and Jason Bartlett's up here. By the way, that steal for Ben, his 17th, and that's the same number he had last year for the entire season. Pitch is low, and the Rays have 107 stolen bases now. Tops in that department.
Yep, tops in the American League, tops in baseball.
Ball, no strikes. Fastball in for a strike, 1-1. Ball and a strike. 2-1. Rays scored 2 runs in the 4th, added a run in the 5th. A man in scoring position with 2 outs in the 8th. And it's lifted up the right side toward the line. Kearns coming in a hurry. It's going to fall for a base hit. That will score Zobrist. And into second base goes Bartlett with a double. It's a 4-0 game.
He'll take it. Hit in the right spot. Tough play for Laporta. As 3 Indian players converge on that ball. I see he gets underneath it. The ball beats him. But he knows it's got a chance to fall in. Nice effort by Laporta. But Jason Bartlett got a break right there, and the Rays will take it.
So the Rays turned the leadoff walk and the steal into a run on that bloop single by Bartlett.
That'll also change because there's 2 men up in the bullpen, and that will sit Soriano down now.
B.J. Upton, the hitter, takes the pitch away. 1 ball and no strikes. Soriano had been throwing Cormier up as well, and now Soriano takes it easy out there.
Yeah,
perched on top of the mound.
He'll be ready though in case a couple base runners get on.
A strike on the outside part of the plate. It's 1-1 to Upton. Upton came into the game hitting .230.
All 4 runs tonight with 2 outs. 2 out RBI hits.
A 1-1 delivery. Swing and a high fly to center. Brantley is there waiting. That retires the side. Rays with a run and a man left. Through 8, 4-0 Tampa Bay. Inning here. Tonight's poll question is brought to you by Autoway. Autoway, if you need a car, truck, or van, who are you going to call? Autoway, 1-800-SHOP-AUTOWAY. What's the biggest need for the Rays to address in the second half? Middle of the order, leadoff hitter, bullpen depth, or consistency? Text your vote to 789-789. Standard message and data rates apply. The Autoway poll question. Well, the Rays now have a 4-run lead, and with that, Lance Cormier gets the call from the Rays bullpen.
Yep, 34th appearance for Lance, 4.5 run average in 34 innings. Opponent's hitting .314 against Lance. But exactly right, with a 4-run lead. Soriano will be in the wings, though. He'll be ready. He's already ready. non-save situation.
Carlos Santana is going to lead it off, followed by Marte and then Kearns. Lance on in the 9th inning last night, gave up a run on a couple of hits and a walk. And the first pitch is outside to Santana. 1 ball, no strikes. Texas no hits in the 6th. Tillman has allowed no hits for Baltimore and has made 89 pitches. It's inside 2-0. The Reds and the Phillies in the 11th inning. In Philadelphia, no score.
Well, you wouldn't have thought that against Cliff Lee, would you? Cliff Lee playing Baltimore?
No.
5-0 in Texas?
Yeah.
Texas plays extremely well.
2-1 to count. Strike on the inside part of the plate. 2-2.
Yeah, Santana didn't like that call. I guess he thought it was down. Pretty good pitch.
This one off the plate in. Full count. Ball cutting in on him. Santana to open the 9th.
Well, that will get Soriano back up. There's one more base runner. You got to go right to Soriano.
Soriano back atop the hill out there in the bullpen. Marte, who entered as a pinch hitter in the 4th when Hafner left with an upper back issue. That pitch drops in for a strike. Marte 0 for 2. He had a screaming line drive in the 7th inning right at Bartlett at short. Pitch is down, 1-1. Ground ball. Diving stop by Longoria. Out at second and out at first base. What a great play by Evan Longoria at third on the sharply hit ball by Marte. 5-4-3 and out.
That had base hit all over it. That is a Gold Glove play right there, no doubt about it. That's your Miller Lite moment.
Miller Lite tastes great. Greatest moment.
Wow, that's huge. That goes through. Soriano's in the game. But now hopefully Lance can finish it off. What a great play.
Now that's 2 hard hit balls by Marte tonight. The Rays have made great defensive plays on it.
A nice stretch by Carlos Pena too. Stay on the bat.
A strike to Austin Kearns. Kearns hits a shot back into center field. Upton going back. It's going to be over his head. It will won't hop the wall. And so Kearns doubles. You know, Kearns is now 6 for 14 against Cormier. He doubled to right center field last night off him and doubles to center field tonight.
Well, little breaker right there. A little flat right over the heart of the plate. Great extension. Good use of the lower half of his body. Good finish by Kearns, and it's just over BJ's head. He gave it a Willie Mays attempt over his shoulder. That was a blast. That's how big is that play now that Evan made?
Boy, I'll tell you. It turned 2 men on, nobody out into a 2-out, nobody on situation, and now the double.
And this will be his last hitter, I'm sure. Either the game's over or Soriano's in the game.
Johnny Peralta, who singled and walked and lined to third. The pitch is a strike. 2 outs with a runner at second. By Shopping.
Kelly's done a nice job tonight. Walking balls. I thought he did a nice job calling those fastballs with Garza, too. Staying with it.
A lot of fastballs from Garza tonight. Under control, very good command.
And mixed in a few breaking balls when he needed to.
A little looper, and that's going to be caught by Bartlett, and this game is over. The ball got in on Peralta. Ray